Drop oil there. And you know, this eccentric, I'm tempted to put a little oil spot, drill a little oil, center drill a little oil hole through right here at the top so that I can actually oil that eccentric a little better than putting a drop on the outside. Okay, what happened to my oil here? There we go. See, I'm just putting a little bit on the outside of it here. And it'll hopefully suck it in. A little drop there, drop there, drop over here on the other. And then drop right there and here. Try not to over oil it, just a drop or so is all it takes. A lot of spots to oil on this thing. And then down here, and here, and then I'm going to actually, this isn't steam oil, but I'll put it right in the airline here. I'll put a little shot of that in the airline. Alright, now let's try it. Turn the air on. Oh yeah, it started on a lot lower air pressure. It's a nice little engine. See, I don't have the right size airline here. It's too loose, which I might have the right size airline though. Let's take this off. I've got some new airline that I bought that I just got, and too small. Okay, so it's the next size bigger. Fits tight there, but I bet I can't get it over the fitting here. No way. I might be able to stick it into the airline though. Yep, fits tight. There. That way I don't have to hold it. And that was the second engine that I built. I built two of them, two of these, one for myself, and I was always going to take and put a circle plate on there and then induce the lagging, but I never did. Okay, so I'm gonna get one more engine that I made two of, and I never did get around to. One of them was actually intended to go to him, but it never went. Never got that far. Let's see if I can remember where I put it. Oh, here they are. And these are the Huff and Puff engines. And you can actually run them if you take a hose and blow, because it doesn't take hardly anything to get them to run. So let's turn this off and pull that off. And I got two of them in the case here. One I nickel plated. One of them is nickel plated and one isn't. Now, let's take the nickel plated one here. These haven't ran in quite some time either. This will go with the bigger hose. Stick that on there. Don't want to drop it on the floor. Ooh! I haven't got the fitting on there, so I have to kind of hold it. Okay. Something is not quite right. Don't want to force anything. Okay, well let's go with the brass one then. That one the same way? No, that one's fine. Okay, we'll turn on the air pressure. And you can see it running. It's just a little small engine. Come on, focus on that. Why are you not focusing? Okay, I don't know what happened to my video, but here's the nickel plated one running. And focus on me. Okay, I'm just gonna see it run. Let's just take and hold it up here so you can kind of get a good view of it. These I started when I was still working, and then I laid them aside because I was no longer in the machine shop and I didn't have any machines at home at the time, so they laid around. So from start to finish, these probably took, oh geez, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years also to finish. They wouldn't have if I'd have had a machine at home, but I did not have a machine to machine them. So, all right, so anyway, put those away. See, the rubber band broke that holds them shut. That is the lowdown. And one more time for my rocket engine. Oh, didn't want to do it because it was too much alcohol on the outside. I'm just blowing in some oxygen into the. Now it should go. I always get a kick out of that. Works best if you got a smaller bottle and just a little bit of alcohol in there, and it'll just. Anyway, better quit playing with that before I burn the place down. So those are the engines that I made that he ended up with. Oh no, I missed one. And that is, if you look up on the shelf over there, the Sterling fan. I made one for him and one for me, and then my nephew seen them and he wanted one, so I made another one for him and another one for me. So I ended up with two, and now I got three that I'll have to put his name on one of those. It's sitting over on the other shelf over there. So that would have been third. Oh, you know, I said that this one was number 3, but it wasn't. This is number 4. That Sterling fan up there was number 3. So anyway, that's what's going on here, listening to the thunder and playing. There was a question about my radial. It's right here. The next step would be to put the pistons on. That's the next step that I'm going to do. And then I am going to, with the head in place, I'm going to use a spark plug hole, top of the stroke, fill it plumb full with an oil, and then take it to the bottom of the stroke and basically what I'm going to do is measure the chamber, after the piston's at top dead stroke, and I'm going to measure what size that chamber is up there at top. So I want to find out what the compression ratio is on it. It's suggested that you do that, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Although I'm not going to run it on glow plugs, I'm planning on running it on spark plugs instead. And I need to figure out where I'm going to put the distributor. And I'm thinking about putting a distributor right behind the prop. Right here. Right there. And then this is the inside here. This is the inside. This is just a plastic, aluminum test part. And it's the cam. So, you know, I could do it a different way. No, I'd have to have a magnet. I was thinking about using Hall effect magnets in here. I could waste a spark. That'd be wasting a spark on every cylinder. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I was thinking that I could go like this here and put it in there. There has to be a flat mill down here to run the oil pump. And in the meantime, I was going to press a gear on here. No, I can't think of the name. I can't think of the name. It's gears that run in 90 degrees to each other like that, and then come out here with the distributor. I don't know yet. I could put it in the back, but that means that I'd have to figure out another whole gear train. Whereas if I go in the front, the gear ratio is already determined for me, so. But back here, I'd have to go and figure out the gear ratio, and then I'd still have to do the same thing. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. I'll figure it out when I get there. But I don't work on this. I don't work on this kind of stuff until later in the fall when it gets really cold outside and I'm not doing anything outside, and I'm out in the shop a lot more. And when I'm out in the shop a lot more, I have more time to tinker around, you know, trying this, trying that. And when it's warm like this, I'm not out here that long. I'm out here quite a bit here right now, but normally I'm not out here this long. So it's just too warm for me. What I'm going to do, what I'm thinking about doing next spring is put air conditioning in though. So I got one window to the west that I never look out anyway. So that I am thinking about opening it up and putting a window air in there, and at least air conditioning it down a little bit to where it's not so darn miserable in here. So anyway, that's kind of going to be it for now. Hopefully I don't lose too many people that over the summer that, you know, are going, oh, that's boring. But I do want to do some end mills, so look forward to that. I have my setup, but I'm going to change the way I do them. I showed you the way to do them with, let's just grab something here. I showed you the way of doing them by taking the end mill and setting the flute down here, and then here's the angle of, you know, your primary, and then when you get down here is your secondary. Does that make sense to you? This way, that way. Actually, no. This would be primary, and then the secondary is up here. Anyway, I showed you the way that the one that designed actually came up with that design for the tool indexer and stuff. And I'll tell you what, I really like that setup of moving it in the cam action. It moves the end mill into the wheel the same amount every time, so that you don't have to crank in, crank out, or do anything with the cranking the table around. The only time you got to crank the table around is when you do the ends. When you do the end of the end mill. And that I'm going to do different too. I'm thinking about making a stop that'll set on the table where I can set the wheel to the center line of the end mill, and then that way I can crank it out and then crank it right back to that stop and have it the same every time. The way I'm doing it now, I'm kind of eyeballing it, you know, I just set up to do my angles. I got the primary and the secondary, and then crank it to the center each time just by eyeballing it. And then sometimes I hit it, and sometimes, oops, I go too far, and sometimes I don't go far enough. So I'm trying to alleviate that problem. And one other thing that I'm thinking about making, I'm making up some more boring bars, heavier boring bars. I have some old pin router bits. I don't know if you know what pin routers are. A thing of the past, but they're a half-inch end mill. It could be a half-inch, 3/8, or a 1/4 inch. I have some half-inch. They're 2 flute. The flutes are straight on them, and they're carbide. And what I'm going to do is set them up and grind the 1 flute away, and then set up and grind all of the second flute away except for the very end of it, you know, leaving 1/4 inch, 300 thou for the actual cutter that does the business. And I've made some of those before, and they're getting wore out, and they work nice. They don't chatter, as long as you're not doing a real deep bore. If you're doing just shallow bores, you can do it, you know, steel, stainless, whatever. They don't chatter. They cut real nice. So I want to make some more of them. I got 3 of them, I think, left, and I haven't broken any. It's just that I've chipped them, resharpened it, chipped it, resharpened it, and that leads me to something else. That it's one of my pet peeves. This is a pet peeve of mine, and that is, I'll show you what my pet peeve is, and it's about boring bars. My pet peeve on a boring bar. Let's focus on my paper here. So you've got a boring bar. And it's like that, or similar to that. And my pet peeve is people that come along on a boring bar and sharpen the boring bar right here. That is not where you sharpen the boring bar. You sharpen it here on the end, because if you sharpen it here, you're losing diameter, and you don't want to do that. So you want to sharpen it on the end. Don't sharpen it on the side. You'll ruin your boring bar faster by sharpening it on the side than you will if you sharpen it on the end. So anyway, I mean, I'm all over the place today. Still thundering. I better go see if I can get some of this uploaded. I'm not too worried about my laptop getting zapped, but like I say, I don't want to start up my NC machine because of, although I have a surge protector or a battery backup with surge protection, and I also have a voltage regulator, and they both carry a warranty on them that if anything, up to $25,000 worth of equipment, I think that's what it is, 25 or 30. Anyway, they do have a guarantee on them, but I don't want to press my luck. So, thanks for watching. Hope you hung in there until now. It's a long video. You'll search around and pick out what you want to watch anyway. That's what I keep telling everybody. If I've got a long video, fast forward ahead. I mean, I'm not telling you to watch the whole thing. You can watch what you want. So, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later.